David?
Yeah.
I mean, too bad if somebody firebombed it and killed all these fucking people.
Bitch, I'll cut your fucking legs off.
Didn't you check your fucking phone? Your uncle wants you to sit down with Conejo. Says we have to make it right.
Fuck you. You're coming into my fucking house. Why the fuck should I trust you?
Hello, everybody. Well, I gotta say, I am so excited and also a little scared because the guest I have today, now, at this point now, you've already seen my review for the Tax Collector. You may have seen my interview with the villain of the Tax Collector, Conejo, which was an amazing time. And now Tax Collector is available for you to watch on video demand. Some of you all are lucky to see it in drive-through movie theaters, but in my area, video demand or on all digital platforms, the Tax Collector is an amazing film. I promise you, don't read into all what the critics hoopla are saying, even though I review films myself. Check it out yourself. This is an amazing film by David Ayers, and I guarantee you will fall in love with this film. And we're talking to another star of it, and she is a badass. That's why I'm partially scared, because her presence on the screen alone did enough for me. But somehow I paid the right people, I got the right street cred, and I was able to get her on the show. And I'm proud to announce and say, welcome to the show, Cheyenne Ray Hernandez. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. I gotta say, congratulations. Like,
thank you.
Your story, seeing the film, it's one of the, like I always say, the most beautiful thing about a person is just resilience and how they just triumph over all the adversity thrown their way. And you have such a unique, loving story, and it's so funny because like your social media is so positive, and you wear your feelings on the sleeve, and you have one of the best smiles I've ever seen. And there's so much, there's a lot of hurt and sorrow that comes from out of your story. And here you go, your first big opportunity, your first major role, and you absolutely kill it. And I got so much to talk about the character of Gata. And before I just get started, I just want to say that, hearing about your story about your brothers, I can assure you that they are looking down, smiling, and probably at the same time a little bit scared because they saw you kill it on screen, and you are just, you're doing your thing. And like I said, I'm sure the rays of heaven is looking down on you from their presence. So, congratulations on this.
Thank you so much. I think that they would be laughing at me because they know that Gata is not like me, so they would be I would be copying a lot of crap right now from both of them. I mean, they probably gave me a lot of my resiliency. I mean, we were constantly messing with each other. I just grew up with two boys where it was constantly pranks, constantly messing with each other, making each other mad. So it's just, I mean, Tax Collector, I just kind of like, when I fell into it, I was very comfortable with that role.
That's so awesome. So yes, before we talk about the Tax Collector, so I know you're from Paso, Texas, excuse me, and you've moved around a little bit, but where are you currently?
I'm currently in Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne, Australia. Nice and beautiful West Coast. So I just recently spoke to the director of Relic. She's also from there. And funny thing that she told me is that I was like, oh, you're in Australia. I said, life is a beach. I have family there. So I'm constantly seeing pictures of them having fun parties, whatever it may be. She's a little bit younger, so whatever. But she was like, oh no, things are kind of crazy because she said security is sleeping with people inside of the hotels that are the people that are on a 14-day isolation. What?
Now we're back on quarantine. We can't go anywhere. Only one person can go to a grocery store at a time. It's just, keep it in your pants, guys. Just keep it in your pants for a little while longer. Just keep it in your pants.
Oh my goodness! Like,
Oh
I mean,
man.
again, it could always be Florida, but like, wow, that's definitely getting up there in the ranks of crazy.
I know. Well, yesterday I went to the grocery store, and you know when you choke on your own spit, you just
Yeah.
swallow it on. Well, I did
Yeah.
that, and I started coughing like crazy in the middle of an aisle, and I, I had like 5 people like, I was like, goodbye.
That is funny.
Yeah,
That is funny.
worst time for that to happen.
But overall, how has quarantine life been for you?
Honestly, I love quarantine. I've just been playing video games and eating a lot.
Awesome.
So I mean, I love it, but I'm a homebody. I don't really go out and stuff. So it was kind of normal for me. Other than the dojo, I really miss going to the dojo. I don't even know, for tax collector, we all had to train MMA, and I miss that like crazy.
Yeah. I know you spoke about that being sort of your happy balance in life, that really therapeutic, and we all need that, especially in these times. But I'm right with you. Homebody, video games, tons of movies. This is the life I was built for, so it's all good here.
It's great. I mean, I'm loving it.
So I gotta ask really quick, what games are you playing? What are you into right now?
Well, okay, so I like the RPG games. You know, I'm kind of a nerd. So right now I'm replaying Elder Scrolls, the first one. I love Minecraft, Witcher. I'm replaying The Witcher 3 because I wanted to get a different ending. So yeah, and then I replayed Fallout 4 because I wanted a different ending on that too.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been any new games that I really have fallen in love with, you know?
Same. I went back and did rebeat Final Fantasy X and 10-2, and then I just kind of got stuck on 2 other games. I stopped talking about first person. Apex has been a happy medium for me since Call of Duty was bringing out this rage of me that I need to leave back in my childhood. But yes. So go ahead.
Have you played Outlast?
No.
Okay, it's a terrifying game. Terrifying. I'm trying, but I'm determined to get through it. But it's so scary. It's this guy that's in a haunted insane asylum trying to get out. It's really scary, but I want to beat that too.
I am going to look that up. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look that up. Yeah, my favorite game is this game, Dead by Daylight. It's basically a campground / type of hide and go seek game for survivors and a killer in there. And you basically you without weapons, but this were perks to try to kind of stay really low key and without being hidden, and work in a teamwork fashion to escape the environment. And it uses well-known killers such as like Leatherface, Freddy.
Wow.
It's easily one of my favorites. So yeah, that'll be a whole nother hour conversation we talk about that. Yes, definitely check that out. Dead by Daylight is also okay. I typically would not go this route, but we're going to keep it 100 today. And again, we're going to have some fun. And you already know how I feel because I'm pretty sure you've seen the review and the interview. But and this is no bias, but it's just entirely how I feel. So the question to you is, now that you've seen the film, and it's a 4-part question, sort of, what's your thoughts about seeing yourself for the first time? What is your thoughts about the responses to seeing from your friends and family responses of seeing the film? What is your thoughts about the critics' responses to the film? And then obviously you can't argue the numbers here, the box office numbers that it's done. So like considering all those type of things, like what has generally been your response to this?
Okay, so the first part of the question, seeing myself on there, it's very weird. When you work with David Ayer, he has you really method acting. So I remember for a while he would ask me, "Who are you?" And I would say Cheyenne. And then after a while, he would just kind of walk away, and I didn't get why he was disappointed. And then the more I trained with him, the more it was, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then I said, the answer was nobody. I'm nobody. And then from there, it grew into, "Who are you?" And I was Gata. And so I lived Gata for a while, you know. So I see her on TV, and I feel like I'm watching somebody that I murdered, because when Tax Collector ended, I don't know, it's just weird, man. I see her on camera and it's not me. And it's just, I look at her and I feel sorry for her because really only I know her backstory. Well, And David. So, you know, I have her journals where I just wrote everything that she had been through as a kid growing up, everything that she battled. She's so evil. So everything that I kind of gave her to make her that evil, to justify being that evil in her head. So once I killed her and got rid of her in my head, it's so hard to see me being her on there. And people don't realize, you know, a lot of the critics are saying, oh, there's no depth, but people have no idea what goes into making that. They have no idea what characters, what our thoughts are going in, because we are those people. It's not like David doesn't let you put on a hat. Okay, now I'm so-and-so. He has you forget who you are to become that person. And yeah, it's just seeing all of us on there. It was just, it's like I don't even know those people on there too. So yeah, it was crazy. So next question was
friends and family.
Friends and family. So I mean, I come from El Paso. We're always so excited and supportive when somebody from El Paso makes it somewhere else. I mean, El Paso is just absolutely amazing with that. I love the support that I'm getting from my whole town, really. Yeah. And my family just, they can't believe that that's me too. Because it's funny because when I was saying, I want to be an actress, of course, your family wants to protect you. So their first thought is, no, go to college. No, what are you doing? Don't be living at a car in LA. And so my family kind of for a while, they gave me a hard time just because they cared and they wanted me to be successful in something. And then so when this happened, I had a lot of my family just kind of go, I'm so sorry. You said you were going to do it and you went out and did it. I shouldn't have tried to stop you. Yeah. And that's what I tell people that say, oh, I would love to go act, but my family doesn't support it. And I'm sorry, but do it anyway. You know, my family didn't really support me going to the military either at first. And guess who was right there at my graduation when I graduated from basic training, you know? So it's just, they're all really excited. You know, that Face app thing? Yeah. Well, my dad, in show of support, has now put his face on all kinds of different movies just to say, you know, that we're an acting family now. So yeah, they're all really excited. My partner who I live with, he's helping me out with PR and stuff like that. And then so he'll come in and wake me up, and then he's like, "Don't you know?" He's like, "I'm an investor now." He's like, "So I got to come ride my talent out of bed." So I have so much support from my family and friends. It's crazy. But okay, and then the next question.
All the numbers in the box office.
Oh my gosh, that I knew it was going to happen though. You know, the critics started coming out and saying all this stuff, and people, of course, their first thought is to send it to me. So I'm getting dozens of just bad messages, you know, from screenshots of the different reviews. And I just kind of said, don't worry about it, because I know David, and I know that David was going to kick butt no matter what. And there was so many things that were in that movie that people kind of came up to David and said, oh, are you sure that you should put that? Are you sure? But when he's got a vision, he sticks to it. And what we started saying was, not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone is from that lifestyle. Yep. You know, not everyone knows people that are from that lifestyle. So not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone's going to understand it. Not everyone's going to like it. But the people that it was meant for, the people that this was created for them, they get it. Yep. And they are in our inboxes saying thank you. That, oh my God, I can't believe you guys used the word boobopped in there, because everybody went in and looked at the script and said, oh, change that word to this. Oh, they would have said this. This is more real. And so I know a lot of my friends that are in that lifestyle have called and texted me, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys said that. I can't believe that was in there." And they get it. And that was who it was intended for.
Yeah. That's how I feel. And I swear I can go off on a tangent with this. Me and Kaneo, even after the interview, we talked about this so much, but it's just like, you can't really tell somebody what their lifestyle is like. And like, you have to think about the people that's involved in this project. They wouldn't sign up if it wasn't authentic. So how can you argue that? And then I'm not going to go this direction, but like, people shouldn't speak about things that they don't know about in such a fashion as if they do. And that's just how I'm just going to leave that. But I knew for a fact when it came down to the numbers, the Latino community was going to show up. So that was just an easy no-brainer for sure. And then David Ayers, like, his fan base is obviously going to show up. And then anybody who has any common sense, you know, or Shia LaBeouf's fans, it just all pointed in the right direction of, hey, this is a director who has a resume that speaks for itself, that has a niche, that has continuously worked. Why wouldn't it get any better? And I just, reading some of the reviews myself, I was like, I feel like some of you all just didn't watch the movie, to be honest. I feel like some people must have read some other reviews and said, I'm gonna come up with my own remix of this and go with that. It was foolishness to me. I felt so bad, but I did love seeing, you know, from everybody's that was a part of the film, seeing the support from their friends, because that's the real people that matter.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, not everyone's going to get it. I saw a lot of reviews that were talking about, oh, well, you're painting this in a bad light, or, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And David grew up around that.
Can't even argue that. Can't even argue that.
You know, that's what he grew up around. So of course he knows about it. I didn't expect that. When I first met David, it was at an audition for a different show, and I was really nervous, and I kind of stutter and I'm weird when I'm nervous, kind of like I did in the beginning of this interview.
You're good.
But then he said, "Oh, you were prior military," and he's like, "Oh, I'm prior Navy." And then switch, it was just our lingo changed, the way we interact changed. It was just, oh, cool. So you get me, you get my weird. Yeah. And so we started talking about that, and then he started talking about how he grew up around a Latin community, and he was using all kinds of you know Spanish words with an accent. When he said pozole, I was shocked that this white guy was saying pozole, and it was just, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And he was the only white guy in a room full of Hispanics, and he held his own. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. And I think that that's what a lot of the critics and people that are really judgmental about him writing it are thinking is, oh, what does this white guy know? Well, this white guy knows.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I knew that it was gonna turn heads, this movie. I knew it was gonna anger a lot of people. I knew it was gonna do well, because it's kind of that shocker that, oh my God, throughout the whole movie, oh, I didn't expect that.
Yep, level. Hey, the money talks, the numbers talk. So, if they're talking about it, then look, the money's already been spent. And that's all that matters here. So, yeah, again, much success to you all. I was going to say this towards the end of the interview, but I'll just say this now. I love the fact that you know the entire background of your character, because I said that, Wizard and Cornell obviously got a pass, and you having such a strong alliance with Canelo, that has to come from somewhere. And I love how we just, we see the unity between you two and the respect, but I would love to see where did it come from. And I mean, this film did so good to me, and I would love to just go just a step back to see, well, how did this all come about? And that means there's more work for you all, but obviously more story to tell. And I would be all for it. Even if it's a short, I need that, David. Please, I need that.
It's really interesting, because you see these characters on the script and you don't know their backstory. You have no idea why they are the way they are. And I think that what was so awesome about what David did for us is he let us create that ourselves.
Awesome.
So whatever I needed to get her that evil is what background I gave her. So,
Okay.
she uses her sexuality, she uses her looks, how she walks like a snake and stuff.
Yeah, very
She's very
sadistic,
sneaky.
cold, just
Yeah. Well, I sat in front of a mirror for hours. I mean, I can't even tell you how long I did this, but I sat in front of a mirror just pretending to be a snake in the mirror and just kind of rolling my body and stuff. And I was just trying to kind of make her one with a serpent and make her understand that coldness. And I couldn't find sexy. I could not.
I heard you. I heard you say that. And absolutely have to bring that up. That is so mind blowing to me. Like it is.
Do it. David kept saying, "You need to find it. You need to find it." He's like, "You're a cold-blooded killer, but you need to find the sexy." And I mean, Shia took me salsa dancing, Lana Paria, she tried to help me, Cynthia Carmona, she tried to teach me how to dance and stuff in the dojo. I just couldn't find it. And so finally, it was Chelsea Rendon that she kind of pulled me aside and she's like, look, she's like, everyone's trying to teach you how to be a certain type of sexy. She's like, that's not you. She's like, you're kind of sexy is you're that badass. She's like, you know how to handle weapons, you know how to fight. She's like, you know how to own any man in there. And she's like, so do it. That's your sexy. And so she yelled at me a little bit. And I was like, I love her. I love her to death.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so I kind of just started to live every day as Gata would and seduce anybody who was in front of me at the checkout counter, at Target, anywhere I was. And I kind of realized, oh my God, this is why girls do this. It's
hey, you might want to stop now. You don't want the Girl Committee of America to find out you're letting the secrets out.
Oh my God.
The guys are praising you. Tell us more. Tell us more.
I know. Don't tell the church. We'll burn get sick. But I was like, oh my God, this is really empowering. This is crazy. And then I remember kind of walking back in our rehearsal and I was all excited. I found sexy, and everybody was just kind of, oh my God.
That is also.
But yeah, that was quite an experience. But it was until I found that, it was very evident. Anytime Conejo and I were running a scene, if he would even touch my shoulder, my whole body would do that. Or Bobby would have to, every time he saw me, because I'm really weird about people touching me. I get really freaked out. And so Bobby would kind of come up and hug me hello, and I wouldn't hug back. I would just kind of do the little pat. And he's like, love me back.
and you know what? I understand too, not only just because of your own personal reasons, but like you were the newcomer on set and you walked into a family, which is special. And it's a family for a lot of reasons. It's a family because half of the cast grew up with each other. They literally were childhood since the Sandbox friends. And the other thing is the culture of David Ayers. When he has films, he constantly reuses cast members throughout each of his projects. So like there was a lot of familiarity between people. And so that loving culture was you stepped into that. And never being on his set, especially right now in America, we know toxic situations and atmosphere. And David has never had that tag to his name. So, from the stories I'm hearing now from the interviews and so on, like it's inviting. And you just got sworn into a family and you didn't even know it. You got a job and a family just like that.
It was such a freaking blessing. You have no idea. I was terrified. I was so new and everyone knew what they were doing. Even Conejo, he'd been doing concerts and all kinds of stuff. So I was a grunt in the military. And then all of a sudden I'm in platform heels talking to George Lopez. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. It was just, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And then the fact that they just, George was a mija, and Lana just kind of saw me, oh, you know what? I like you. You're my little sister now. And just kind of adopted me into that. Everybody on there was just, I don't have anything bad to say about anybody, I just think that you're right. It was just one big family, and we still are. We just went to Disneyland a while ago. All of us. It's just,
and
they're stuck with.
And I think that's something that we share as people of color is that, we have that family mentality. And my Latino friends is the same way. I remember some I met within 10 years and we treat each other like we known each other our entire lives. And like, that's just the culture within both of our ethnicities. And I think that's special. And I think, when it comes to work practices, it makes the job easier when you're around a loving atmosphere and people who see and understand the same way you do. So like much like you said, it's absolutely a blessing to walk into that situation your first time, because again, in 2020, everything is being pulled from out of the closet, and there's horrific stories of people's first times on set and sets they work with and certain people they work with. So, and thank God a lot of this is being brought to light, but we're still a long way from cleaning it all up. So for your first time, it's just another testimony to the David Ayer set, and I'm a huge fan of the guy.
Well, the thing is he looks out for you. Once he kind of adopts you as his friend, that's it. But and especially like I said, military blood really runs deep. But
yeah,
he, I met him. He cast me in the movie, and I had just moved out of my car pretty much, and I was living over by Compton, and my apartment, it didn't have any parking. And so I would get home from the dojo really late, and then I would have to park a couple blocks down and then walk at night. So I always walked with a bat because a couple of times I had some issues. Mm-hmm. And so I was, because sports bra and stuff, probably not a smart idea walking from my car. But so I was pretty shaken a couple of times, and David found out about it. And so he called, and I was working, I used to work for an acting program. So I was working with that, and David called and said, look, filming hasn't started. And he's like, I think that you have a good shot. He's like, I think you're going to be big. He's like, but that's not going to happen if something happens to you. So he actually paid for me to move out of that apartment, move into a new apartment in a safer location. And I didn't have to pay anything for that. He just looked out for me. And then the next time I saw him, I was like, thank you, David, so much, and he just said, there's a lot of dirtbags in Hollywood. And he's like, if anybody messes with you, I want you to let me know right away. And then Shia walks up, and he's like, yeah, me too. And I was
like, that's so funny.
Yeah, so they I don't know why, but they really looked out for me. They still do.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. There was some money left on the table here. If you all would have filmed each of y'all, because Kaneo was talking about how they put everybody together to kind of get to know each other, so everyone was living under one establishment. Look, considering these personalities here, there's probably so much untold takeouts and just bloopers of all sorts. If we could have just had that, consider the people that's involved with this. But that's an awesome story. That's an awesome story. I know. As a part of me is just like, come on, give me the raw stuff. What has happened? What was said? What are y'all talking about?
We had so much fun, though. We had so much fun. I mean, the reality is all of us at some point almost got in a fist fight with another cast member on set. Yeah. It's so real. You're just so in it.
Family fight.
Okay. So you're gonna like this one. So I was very in character, and it was a scene where I'm hammering Shia. And
we all know this one.
Yeah, you know the cigar that Conejo had.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, so he had it, and he moved it away from his lips, and the ashes fell on Shia's chest in real life, and so it burned. And so I was a combat medic in the military. So as soon as they yelled cut, Shia was like, he's like, can someone get the ashes off of me, because he was tied up. And so I get the ashes off of him, and then I see that it's a little red. So I'm bloody in a bra and underwear, holding a hammer, I run to the medic on set and I was like, aloe, 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 hurry up, aloe, aloe. And then so they're like, okay, and they give me the aloe vera and I run back. And again, all bloody, I'm rubbing aloe vera on Cheyenne's chest. And he's like, tied up. And he's like, stop, I'm supposed to hate you right now. And I'm like, shut up and take it. It was crazy. Everyone in the behind the scenes is just like.
I'm going to lobby my second pitch here. Now, I've already asked for the prequel to this. Now, I know everybody's raving about the David Ayers cut for Suicide Squad. I need the Ayers cut for the Tax Collector.
I don't know if there is one. I know
it
that
has to be something. We know he likes to shoot. We know that.
I hope so. I do hope so. I don't even remember filming a lot of that on the what I saw in the movie. I was like, oh, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing that. And I know I got a text from one of the producers, Chris Long, and he was like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Are you aware that you licked your lips and winked at Bobby when you showed him his uncle's head?"
I love that though. That was just like, oh, I channel Bobby in the utmost right there. It's like I don't even want to put my own stuff out there, but it's like when you go to the club and you buy a girl a drink and she has a boyfriend and you're just like, damn. And he was looking like, damn, I thought this was all good. And like, I screwed myself. And you looking like, gotcha. I love that scene. So, I mean, like, even how the cinematography of it, just him slowing down and just the pure emotions and look of devastation. I was like, yo, that's real. Like, that's like some real. I don't know what he was thinking in his head, but like, even at the same time, like, damn, my man, George Lopez is right there.
I know. And it felt so weird. His head, afterwards, I poked his head. It felt so weird.
Who has that prop? That's the real question. Who has it?
I don't know, but I kept my arm.
Oh, I know. I'm getting to that. Yes. Okay. Right before we get to that, because that's literally that's what I was going to bring up. Your nickname, the super weapon, that right there gives me chills. But obviously, can you tell us why, for all the accolades and all the MMA background you have, but let's break it down. Where did you get the nickname and so on?
It's not even like people just have kind of said it, you know, they're like, oh, wow. So nobody on set really knew that I could handle a weapon except for pretty much Conejo and Shia and Bobby. They were all there and they knew that I was in the military. So they knew I could probably handle a weapon, but they didn't really know that I was crazy. And so I Conejo mentioned this in his interview with you. But so, I mean, the weapons guy and his assistant, they're the sweetest people ever.
Yes, air them out, because I was going to ask, who was you looking at like, we're going to need some help here.
I wasn't though. I didn't want to be, you know, oh, look what I can do. So I let them explain, but then I got to the point where it was like, and here's the safety, and you know, and so far I was like, oh, like this, and then it was the shotgun was the first one, and so I just kind of started walking forward and shooting everything, and I just hear Shia cackling in the back, and I see David. So when David's trying not to laugh, he just goes like, he's like, you know, so he's trying not to laugh. And then I know my friend Tennessee was like, yeah, and so the weapons guy was like, okay, yeah, you know what you're talking about. So pretty much every weapon he gave me, I was just having a blast with it.
Yeah.
But then what Conejo didn't tell you too is, okay, don't go up to an Army veteran and try to take a gun out of their hand without you know, telling them first or something. So the weapons assistant, again, sweet kid, he had no idea. He didn't know I was paramilitary. I had just finished doing that scene where, you know, where I throw the pipe bomb and then I run off. I kind of run off and I'm shooting. So I threw the pipe bomb and I run, and then all of a sudden I'm even though I'm off camera, I'm in the scene. And then I feel someone come and grab the gun out of my hand, and I turned to pistol whip, and it stopped literally right before it hit his face. And then I kind of stopped, and I had this moment of, oh God.
Yeah.
And then I had to think, okay, you're Cheyenne. I had to get out of Gata, get rid of the military stuff. And I looked at him and I was like, never take a gun out of my hand again. And I walked away, and then I kind of calmed down, and I came back and I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be mean to you. I didn't mean to yell at you. Haha, it's me again. And poor kid was like,
one of those days after work, he went home. He was just like,
I
don't know if I'm going back. that got there, I tell you.
But yeah, and I love the weapons. I mean, I really want to get in more action films where I get to use weapons, and I know how to knife fight too. And it was really fun when my sensei and Bobby first found that out. Sensei gave us both rubber knives, and so he just kind of gave me and Bobby a knife, and he said, have at it. And so Bobby was flipping the knife around, and then I just like flipped it like that, and Sensei looked at me and he goes, and he's like, if I see some crazy bitch running at me like that, I'm running. And so he took my knife away, and he said, okay, you and Bobby fight, and Bobby has the knife. So I just kind of rushed Bobby, grabbed the knife and clutched it to me and fell. And then once we fell, I got the knife and stabbed him. And so Bobby went and told David, oh my God, did you know that she could do this? And David was like, no. And so it kind of became like, you can fight with what? You can do what? You can do what? But I mean, I grew up and my dad taught me how to do all that. My dad used to get me in headlocks and go try to get out. And I'd be about to pass out. And then he'd kind of let me go and go, no, stupid, like this. And then he would show me how. So when it finally came time to my scenes where I was able to do my own stunts and stuff, and they hired a stunt double, I don't know if you heard that. I was really upset because I wanted to do my own.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I was so mad. And David just kind of said, look, we only have enough squibs for 2 takes. So if you fuck this up, we're done. We can't do anymore. And I said, okay, well, give me 1 take. And then if I can't do it, you can give it to her. But I just want to at least try. And so he said, okay, fine, whatever. And I think he was just done with me. And then, so that was the one where I was shooting the shotgun from in bed and then get up and I'm charging with the shotgun and then get shot and like fly and stuff.
Yeah.
So with that, I did the scene and then, I get shot and I fall, and in my head, I'm just thinking, please, 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 and then I hear cut, new deal. And I hear the whole cast going, everybody, cast crew just going like, oh my God, what the fuck? And I kind of got up like a little squirrel and I was like, did I do good? What happened? And then David just kind of like, he came up and he gave me that, like, that look like he killed it. And then he high-fived me, and then he's like, he said something like, good job, mamas. And then he walked away, and I was like,
yeah.
And so everybody kept saying, Gata, the 1-take wonder. And
I see I got a lot of nicknames to add in the description here
I know. Different people are saying different things, but I was just so excited. I mean, I really did try to be cool after that. Like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
That was no problem. Hey, but you're a woman of your word, because look, you did it in 1 try. You even said that when you wanted to get the shot to get an audition, you only asked for 2 minutes of the time to talk about it. So like, yeah, I think that is credible by now. So yeah, I think there's going to be some longevity and trust in your future for people to giving you chances on something you believe you can do. And I mean, hell, your whole life has been you banking on yourself. So why can't you? You know what I mean?
I think that one thing is even if I completely mess it up, I will give my 100%. And I think that the people who know me now know that.
Yeah.
So much to the point that they will tell me, okay, don't overdo it. Don't kill yourself, don't hurt yourself, but yeah, we'll let you do it.
Yeah.
And David did tell me before we started filming, because he knew I was really rowdy in the dojo. And so he said, don't do anything stupid, don't get a black eye. Outlined all of this stuff for me not to do. And I think it was like a week and a half before that I had to call him and say I have a black eye because I got in a fight at the dojo.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh boy. All right, dead arm time. Now take us through this. And did you really get pulled over?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yes. Take us through the whole thing.
Well, so I had just gotten pulled over because sometimes I jam out too much in the car. And I mean, I'm sure people have recordings of me somewhere because of how hard I'm jamming out at red lights. And so I was doing that and I got pulled over and it was just a really quick, like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm so sorry. I was listening to Taylor Swift. And they got a kick out of it, but then they saw the arm that was right there. And so they were just kind of like, what is that? And I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a prop. Ha, 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 ha. And they didn't laugh.
Whoa.
And, they were like, you can't have that, blah, blah, blah. And so it's still in there.
Yeah. And this was in America or Australia?
Yeah, America.
Wow.
So now huh?
I'll say, wow, I never knew that. I mean, I knew they had problems with people having blow-up dolls for like the HOV lanes, but I didn't know you can have just the arm hanging in there.
He had said something like, oh, if somebody sees that and calls the cops, this and that. But I don't know. But yeah, it's there. Now it's in a little like a blue trash bag that's got blood in it, and I just kind of leave the fingers out. So when I use valet, I never not get a comment from that. They're like, oh my God, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should call the cops. I think it's hilarious, but not everybody does.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I got pulled over again. I've never gotten a ticket, but I did get pulled over again one time, and they thought it was funny. So.
That's funny. That's a new one. Yeah. So to kind of just reiterate a couple of other things really quick, like, you're so true to yourself. Anybody that's following you on social media to see that, you live your life on your sleeve, your emotions and so on. You're very likable, and very positive person for your social media presence. And you tap into this Gata character who's the complete opposite. Sadistic, evil, cold, and just like basically sculpted in fear. And I think, that's truly the essence of acting, is becoming somebody you're not. And I think, for your first major role, like, that's how you act your ass off, because who you are there and who you are as a person is not who you are on screen, because you're buying into that character. So I just, from the instant moment I saw you on screen, I was just like, okay. The first thought is this is just just the side piece for the main villain, just his token eye candy that's there. But you actually comes in a strong woman, because any scene that you are on, you command presence, not just by your demeanor, your fashion, but like all the men respect you. You speak for Cornell. He doesn't cut you off when you're talking. I mean, if you watch these type of films, that's not a thing. The main person speaks and that's it. And even for, I can't think of the other guy that actually, the one that I can't think of his name. George Lopez's character killed his father. I can't think of his name right now. The other one that was at the table in the first scene. But even for him, of high rank too, he respected you speaking. You open the door. You bring in the guests. You come to the quinceañera and you call the shots. You make the first bullet shot at the scene. Like, did you know when you looked at the script that you weren't going to just be some extra, but you was going to just not be just a killing machine, but a real respected woman in this system? Like, you legit, anything you did, you were respected.
Not in the beginning. So I remember I first saw the script and I thought, oh, cool, I get to play a badass. And that was kind of where my head was at. I just gonna play this badass chick. And then the more that I dove into Gata, that's when I kind of started realizing who she was. And you know, it's funny that you talked about my Instagram. Oh yeah, you're the opposite. The thing is any one of us have the potential to be Gata. Gata she's raw, she's primal, she doesn't care if somebody doesn't like what she's doing or saying. And I think everybody has that in them. Yeah. And so to be Gata was just to release my inhibitions, you know, to not care, oh, is this polite or not? Is this what I should do or say? And so in order to bring her to life too, I started to think, okay, what does she want? You know, she's primal, she does whatever the hell she wants, but what exactly does she want? And so with the backstory I gave her, she was used and abused a lot growing up, even as a child. And so I kind of looked at everybody around me as just toys now. Now that she had gotten that power, now she had taken her power back. Now she was like, you know what, you guys, you all fucked with me my whole life. Now I'm gonna fuck with you.
Yeah.
And so she finds Conejo, who has her back. They're like the, you know, Latino Bonnie and Clyde. That's what they have going on there. And I kept thinking, Gata, she doesn't give a shit if you think she's sexy or not. You know, she wants you to be scared of her. She wants you to be as scared of her, if not more, than you are of Conejo. And so even though when I read this, when I kept reading the script and rereading my lines, I was like, okay, I don't say too much. How can I say everything that I need to say without opening my mouth? You know? So every scene, it was just kind of like, I wanted you to know what I was thinking. When Bobby first shows up and I open the door, I wanted you to know that I didn't think he was shit. Yeah. You know, I wanted the audience to know that I was kind of like, oh, he's kind of cute. I might kill him later, might not. Yeah. You know, or there's this moment that I can tell you exactly what I was thinking. For he said when he's talking to Conejo for the first time and he's saying that you bleed, you die, or something like that, and when he was talking about, you know, you bleed blood and everyone dies, I was imagining killing him in real life, you know? So it was kind of like, I had that moment of like, you'd bleed too, you know? And so it was just, like I said, I wanted people to be able to look at Gata and know that she knew that she was the shit. She knew that even though all of these guys, you know, had big swinging dicks in this room, that she could kill everybody in there without even batting an eyelash. Yeah. And it was hard to do that without having too many lines. But David really helped me with that. He sent me to Ivana Chubbuck, and she helped me a lot with that. She put it in a good way. She said, that gun, she's like, that gun is your penis. She's like, that's your lady penis. And she's like, and nobody in there is going to take it away from you. And that's what it was. It was, you know, I was my own weapon. And I'm glad people have been able to see that when they watch the movie, because I have gotten a lot of messages saying that I pulled it off, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because when you're doing it, it's kind of, you wonder, is this all in my head? Are people going to be able to actually see what I did? And it shows, and I'm pretty excited about that, because I went crazy in order to do that.
Yeah, and not to mention, when I watched it, I think this either the second or third time, I didn't realize that even in the scene, I hope I pronounced this right, but the brujeria, the witchcraft scene.
Oh, the brujeria.
Brujeria. Okay. Yes, I didn't even realize that was you that he called upon there. Which I was just like, first of all, that scene just creeped me the hell out. But even the rising from the background into the forefront of the camera, I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't realize that was you. Did you was there anything special you had to do to prepare for that scene?
Well, I made me, David, and Conejo all hold hands and pray right before.
Yeah, thank you for telling the truth. Thank you.
Yeah, I was really I got on set, and I had this weird feeling. I can't describe it, but there was real runes. It was real devil runes in that room, and I'm pretty spiritual, and so I wasn't too comfortable with that. So I know it was all painted black, but I had drawn a cross on my side, just in case. Yeah. And then I had us pray, and then so all three of us, we sat there and we prayed, and then we did the scene, and then afterwards, Conejo was in the parking lot doing the limpia and stuff. And we just hear him like, "Nah, fool, get over here, man! No, that shit was crazy." But say I know that it affected him too. I mean, all of us. It was a strange day. And then especially, you know, I'm laying on a bed surrounded by flames and like real fire, and so I'm just thinking, while I'm supposed to be dead and they're fighting behind me and they're doing that scene, I was just thinking, oh my God, what if the devil runes make this fire light me on fire? So I'm laying there dead, but all this stuff is going on.
Yeah. Oh man. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's whew. I when I seen it first, obviously I couldn't talk about it when I first saw it, but I remember like I was like pause. Did a couple of paces around, went outside, did like one of them, like, okay, all right, let's finish the movie.
It was intense.
Yeah, I at that point I was like, I need to time out. This scene right here, and everybody's raving about that scene, how just crazy it was. Whew. Yeah,
I know. My grandma was pissed. I texted David the other day. I was like, ooh, David. I was like, my grandma is pissed that you killed me. I was like, you're gonna get the chancla. He just started laughing.
Do not ever mess with grandma. Oh my God. That is funny. That is funny.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that.
Because we're coming up on time, we're just going to ask a couple of more really short questions. Now, number one, plot twist here. Let's just say David had kissed the ring and decided to follow and be on the same side as Conejo. Is there any chance that Gata and Creeper could coexist?
A lot of people are shipping Gata and Creeper, aren't they? I don't know. So even in that scene at the quinceañera, because we're so in character when this is happening, David was saying stuff like, go sit on Bobby's lap. And it's weird because as I was walking towards Bobby, my eyes went to Creeper, and Creeper and I were having this standoff as I was getting closer to Bobby. And then it was like, as soon as I got close enough, Creeper stood up to kind of push me back, and my hand went to my back as if I had a gun. Like it was just, and then so we had to tell David, look, our characters literally won't let us do this. Creeper wouldn't let Gata get that close to Bobby, just as Gata didn't want to be so vulnerable with Creeper sitting right there. You know, so it was that moment of, I don't trust you. And so even on set, there was a couple of times where Creeper and Gata on set just started yelling at each other and making threats and stuff. And people were like, okay, calm down. And our characters really didn't like each other. It took a lot for me to break character and go rub aloe on him, you know, because that hate was so strong. So I don't know. We really didn't like each other.
That's awesome. I mean, makes for organic chemistry on set. You know, if you all can really phantom them feelings, then it's gonna translate into good scenes.
I mean, yeah, maybe all shipped us to an island where we had nobody else. But I don't know.
Another thing I was kind of thinking after watching it, I think the second or third time, was how come it wasn't Gata that killed Bobby's wife, David's wife? It was Bobby, excuse me, Bobby Soto's character, David's wife. How come it was Conejo that did it? Was there ever any discussion on maybe changing that? Because it seemed like Gata was the hitter.
Yes, but it was almost like David wanted to give her almost like a dignified, beautiful death.
Okay.
I would have carved her up. I probably would have like done her face, you know what I mean, to rub out her existence.
Okay.
And that's not what that scene called for. So that's why I think he did that, because Gata was just, I mean, I was banging some dude's kneecaps out, you know? I'm not okay. So I think that he wanted it to be a more beautiful death where Bobby was able to wrap her up and put her in the bath and then make her beautiful again in bed. Gata wouldn't have left much for him to do that with. You know, if Gata was teaching them a lesson, you know, you're gonna learn that lesson good and quick. And yeah, so I think that's why.
Feeling like Uncle Louis' death came by Gata's hands here.
Oh yeah, that was Gata.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I was so proud showing him the head, because it's like, you know, I'm kind of like a kindergartner that just painted you a picture. Look what I did, isn't it pretty?
I was feeling that. Yep.
Yeah. She wasn't very sane.
So yes, definitely because of you know, doing some research before the interview. You know, you talked about a lot of good memories on set. A lot of it involving music. Obviously, we're bringing up Tay Tay right now when you getting pulled over. And then you really talked about how the cast really helped shape your acting career moving forward. And then Shia's inspiration, because we love Shia Buff giving inspiration. That's the thing right there, giving you inspiration to find sexy. So just as a really big package question, you know, what was just really one of your most memorable sets, whether it was funny, whether it was emotional, or whether it's something, you know, you're just going to hold dear for the rest of your life?
There was so many. I mean, so many. Each cast member I had a moment with. I mean, each crew member I had a moment with. But I would probably say that the most special was Lana Faria, when she taught me how to walk in heels. I mean, like I said it before, I still had my combat boot calluses on my feet. I was staring at these heels, just wanting to cry, because I had to walk across this grass and be sexy doing it, and the heels just kept going into the grass, and I didn't know what to do, and I wasn't good at girling yet. So I was lost. And then she didn't make me feel dumb. She didn't make me feel, oh, you don't know what you're doing. She just kind of said, she's like, honey, do you need help? And I just kind of nodded. And then she said, okay, well, toe first. And so we just walked across back and forth, and she taught me how to walk in heels. And then about 20 minutes later, I went and did the scene, which is the one that everyone saw, where I'm storming across this lawn of grass, angry and doing all that stuff. But yeah, that scene was possible because a woman on set literally knew not too much about me, but just came up and offered her help without expecting anything in return. And it was that moment that kind of, I mean, she's one of my best friends in the whole world now. And it was that moment for me that just, I didn't care that she was this big actress. I didn't care anything that she'd done. When she did that for me, it was just, I saw her soul, you know, and I saw that she really cared. And yeah, it's just love. And I mean, literally, as special as that moment is, throughout filming, so many people I've had that moment with where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this right now. You know, it was a phenomenal experience working with everybody there. Yeah,
and you talked about Shia making you get a special call from a special someone, and like that's just such amazing gems to hear being on set. Like I know you were there for work, but hell, it sounded like you was on vacation, Paradise Island at that.
Definitely. I mean, we're a family, we really are. And it's crazy because I keep hearing from the people from the cast, people don't stay this close after filming. Everyone kind of goes off and does their own thing. But we still have Skype parties. We still hang out. Before COVID, for my last birthday, it was Chelsea Rendon that got everybody together at the dojo, and she grilled, and she was like, you're special, happy birthday. And I cried because I mean, it was just, I mean, we're a family. We are a family, and you know, no one's blood related, but it's as deep as a family. I mean, it's amazing.
That's right. That is right. Well, I know you can't talk much about it, maybe nothing at all, but the fans are obviously raving now. what can we be possibly expecting to see you in on the future? What are you kind of digging in, working on? What is your eyes set on? What little tidbits could you possibly say about your future career in acting or anything else?
Well, I have a couple of projects that I'm looking at, but nothing's completely locked in right now. COVID is definitely making everything a lot harder. And I don't even have an agency. So people are kind of reaching out through different contacts, and so I guess now I have to find an agency too. But yeah, I am looking at a couple of things that I can't talk about. But I can promise that I'm never going to give up, and I can promise that I'm just going to keep gunning for my next role. I want that action film. I really, really want another action film. I want to be able to showcase everything that I can do with weapons. You know, I'm really, really excited about that. I've been training on stunts. I'm still working at the dojo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, American Kempo, Russian boxing, you know, so I feel like I'm packing a whole bunch of stuff so I can, when I meet Tarantino or something, I can say, look. You know, I've been working for this moment right here. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just, yeah.
Awesome. You know, again, just much love, success, and blessings your way. I absolutely fell in love with your character. Although it scared the hell out of me, but when it comes down to the body of work in a film, Gata is an amazing character. And for you, again, for it to be your big screen debut, you knocked it out the park. It is a phenomenal job. You know, I definitely cannot wait to see what the future holds for you. And, you know, just keep pushing. You know, you got the spirit of your brothers on your back, and the proof is in the pudding now. You can do it, bank on yourself, and you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I had a blast.
No time. No doubt. No doubt. Hopefully we do it again really soon. Hopefully COVID goes away and we can come off of timeout. Cheyenne Ray Hernandez, the star of The Tax Collector, which is available now on video demand, on VOD, on digital, maybe in your theaters or driving theaters, depending on where you live at. Lucky you again. Nonetheless, definitely check this film out. The Tax Collector is an amazing film, and Gata's going to scare the hell out of you. But if you want to meet the nice person, Cheyenne, here she is. But until then, folks, thank you so much for watching this interview, and I'll catch you all very soon. Big old bell.